This video is brought to you by Grand Gamers Guild.
So, for all of those bellends who assert that climate change isn't real,
we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record. I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball.
Okay, it'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually.
it's 35 bloody degrees in Berlin in sodding September. So I've been driven outside to record this as my studio is like that very small, very warm room in hell that is reserved for people who stop at the top of escalators. Autumn used to be about mellow fruitfulness and harvest festivals. Now it's about factor 70 sun cream and armpits that are like lawn sprinklers. I guess what I'm saying is stop buying crap from Temu. Right, it seems only 5 minutes since I was here talking about the glorious festival of games that is Essen Spiel. Now, this could be because of the lamentable fact that as we get older and time becomes more precious, it starts to whiz by so fast that you barely see it. Or that I've been in a fentanyl coma for the last 12 months. I'll let you decide which. Still, here we are again, the cardboard bacchanal of Essen. Every year there are more games and every year I ignore almost all of them. These are the ones, though, that are unignorable. But before we get to the delicious meat of the cake, here's some icing. And I'm sorry for that woeful metaphor, I was trying to be clever. What I mean is here are my honourable mentions, the ones that almost made the cut. Essen's wonder is that it gives us Europe-based gamers the chance to explore games from all over the world. Asia is particularly well represented at Essen, and this one from new Taiwanese publisher Aspiration Games looks fascinating. This is a ladder climbing game a la Tishu or Shithead that I'm sure has no thematic connection to Shakespeare's Madrigal, but there are loads of delightful card games that come out of Asia, and I love a ladder climbing game, so I'll definitely give this one a go. This may come as a surprise to some of you, but video games are not board games. Often the translation from one form into the other is disastrous, but this one piques my interest for two reasons. Firstly, it claims to mimic the Metroidvania genre that has games like Hollow Knight and the digital implementation of this one, Dead Cells. And secondly, it's designed by the bona fide master of design, Antoine Bowser. It claims to be a dungeon crawl, and I haven't played a good dungeon crawl in ages. Also, it's bloody gorgeous. I'd love it if they could replicate a Metroidvania on the table, so let's see. This got very close to getting in my top 5. Delicious Games comes out with one game a year, and it's always designed by owner and brilliant wielder of mechanisms, Vladimir Suchy. I've never played a bad game from him. Sure, I like some more than others, but he always designs a game that has something and is worth getting to the table. Also, I have to mention him as I sat next to him at an awards ceremony one night and got horribly drunk, and I'm sure ruined his bloody night. This game is here partly because of the pedigree of the designers, having made Yinchi, Cafe and Dompierre, and partly because Roller and Costa are two of the nicest people you would ever wish to meet. They helped to organise the best game con in the world, the RIACon, and I have spent many nights with them getting up to no good. About the game though. This will be a heavy, crunchy Euro from the world capital of heavy, crunchy Euros, Portugal. Check this one out. I love Orwell's hopelessly bleak tale of Aspiration Crushed. I come from Britain and can testify to it being a wholly realistic representation of the country post-Brexit. I think the idea of setting a solo game in this world is a masterstroke, as so much of the book is the in-head musings of Winston Smith, the main character, as to utter even a scintilla of his truth would land him in Room 101. There isn't much info out on this game, but it looks super interesting, and I can't wait to sit on my own with a cup of hot regret and give this one a go. All right, well, that's the honourable mentions out of the way. Let's get on to the meat of that cake. Goetz is one of the world's great designers, and his work with PD Verlag has been legendary, especially Concordia. As I rapidly become history, I get more and more fascinated by it, and a game set in the 1700s designed by a master is right up my cul-de-sac. In this, you take on the various power brokers trying to gain dominion over Europe. If this game has any relation to his brilliant Imperial, it's going to be a cracker. Also, there is an inverse correlation between the quality of the art and how good the game is. And looking at that board, this game is going to be amazing. Nuno Bizarro Santiero and Paulo Soledad are two of the best economic Euro game designers out there. Panamax and Nippon are up there as some of the best heavy Euros to have been designed in the last 15 years. Now they're back, and I couldn't be more excited. In Asian Tigers, we take on the roles of the eponymous lands: South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore and Hong Kong. We'll build power plants, research labs and factories and loads of other dry-sounding and I'm sure hugely engrossing stuff that will come together in a game that is totally captivating. I am so glad they're back, and I can't wait to get my hands on this one. I just received a Kickstarter from Grail Games of 4 little card games, and they were all great. Chuhan is a collaboration between them and the king of deep card games, the designer of Race for the Galaxy and Res Arcana, Tom Lehman. In this one, we play rival clans seeking to destroy each other, and I just know that the gameplay will be tight and tactical and cutthroat. I love a good 2-player game, and I'm confident that this will be a good one. Nothing better than a Civ game. This is the blue ribbon genre in gaming. This Civ game has been designed by one of the titans of Euro game design too, Stefan Feld. There has already been a load of buzz around this one, and I just know it's going to be deep and challenging. There is no Civ game that will replace Through the Ages in my estimation, but if this one comes close, that will be one hell of an achievement. And Stefan Feld might just be the one to do it. Skull King is my second favourite game of all time. It's one of the most dependable games ever designed. I've played it with loads of different groups, and it's only failed once, and that's because my friend Lemoncello is a miserable bastard. Stefan Dorra, the designer of Skull Queen, also designed Niet, an absolutely flawless trick-taking game. This surely has to be a match made in heaven. Now, of course, I have no idea if the game is any good or not, but with that pedigree, it has to be worth a go. I want to love this so much, and this might be, unlike every other facet of my meagre existence, something that doesn't let me down. Well, there we are, my indispensable list of games for Spiel 2024. Let me know in the comments what yours are, and if we bump into each other, you can buy me a pint. Right, I'm going to go and throw some ice cubes in the sea, because that'll fix the climate crisis, right?